Think you can't sell a course without an audience? I've built profitable launches starting from 0 followers, and today I'll teach you exactly how to do it. If you've got knowledge but no audience, don't worry. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 ways to get attention, build trust fast, and start making sales, even when nobody knows you yet. If this helps you, please hit subscribe and tap like. It really helps more course creators find this video. So let's get into this. Number 1, start by solving a real problem. You can't market a course, okay? People don't want courses. What they're after is a solution to a problem. They're after the solution that the course provides. This is really important when you're starting to market, when you haven't got an audience at all. You need to focus on one pain that your ideal learner already feels. Cures, not prevention. When you have a headache, you take a Panadol, and the course is no different. When you don't have an audience, you want to target what they're searching for, and they're searching for their cure to their pain. You need to use clear outcome-driven language. In other words, learn how to something in 7 days, 7 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 days, whatever it happens to be. So target specifically what they're looking for to solve that one problem that they're suffering from. You want to launch your first course fast? Please grab my free guide, 10 courses you can create in a weekend. Inside, you'll see proven course ideas that work even if you've never built one before. Download your own copy now at mrwebmarketing.com. Number 2, you can use short form content to build awareness. You can post TikToks, Reels, and YouTube Shorts regularly. And we know this is a growing market. In fact, I heard stats this morning saying that there is consumption of up to 2 billion Reels every day, and only 1 billion are being produced. That means there's people out there looking for content that doesn't exist. So if you're targeting that problem people are experiencing, do short Reels, because it's one way to get in front of people and then drive them to your longer form content or your sales page for your course. You can even hook your viewers within the first 5 seconds. Remember, this is short form content. So you need to hit them fast, hit them hard, and capture their attention, or they're not going to stay for the full length of your reel. Each video should teach one quick tip or use a myth-busting insight. Go into ChatGPT or use a tool like that and come up with this big list of tips. Use the deep research tool to go out onto the web and find things people are having problems with, and then write a quick tip about that. You can use AI to help you do this. Speak it to camera, do it yourself. Yes, there's a whole pile of new toys coming on the market, like Sora, for example, that can make you into Reels or a short form video and sound like you. And you may want to try tapping into that. But either way, target that one quick tip or myth busting insight. And then let the algorithm find you an audience. You have the opportunity to use the power of the algorithms here when you really have no one following you. You can have a brand new account, and TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of these different platforms will share your content. Obviously, the Reels will be shown to a small audience, and if they like it, gets shown to a bigger audience, and so on and so forth. Here's your chance to reach people who don't know you exist. When I first started out selling online, one of the things I didn't realize was the different markets. You've got the market that knows you well. You've got the market that's heard of you, but doesn't know you real well. And then you've got the market that doesn't know you at all. The market that doesn't know you at all is the most massive one. I'd hazard a guess to say that 99% of the market does not know you exist when you consider how many billion people there are in the world. So use the algorithm to your advantage to grow your audience. Number 3 is to borrow other people's audiences. If you have connections in your industry or other people who are producing content, why not get together with them and work as a guest? You can guest on podcasts, YouTube shows, or live streams to talk about what it is that you're an expert in. People are always looking for someone to interview who's interesting. And if you've got something interesting to say, write to them. Introduce yourself, but make sure you know their content first. Don't just send it out to everybody who's online. Pick people who really do cross over with what you're doing and understand what their previous content is. I'm not going to have someone on my podcast, the Profitable Speaking Podcast, if I don't know that their content's going to be interesting to my audience. It's that simple. And if you don't show me you've listened to your audience, I'm not even going to consider having you on the podcast, because that just won't work for the people listening. When you're on there, make sure you share valuable insights. You're not there to sell. What you're doing is you're setting yourself up as an expert. There's a book that came out years ago, talked about the out-of-town expert. And we're talking about professional speakers in this case, where you come in, you speak at an event, and you bring new knowledge into the town. This is no different. You're bringing the knowledge that you've got about your course, your content topic, to that audience. You're there to answer questions. And then at the end, people will say to you, so if people are interested in what you're doing, where can they find you? And that's where you have a chance to drive people towards a free giveaway or your homepage or a landing page. Take advantage of that opportunity at the end when you've given something. If you want someone to do something for you, you need to give to them as well. It's really important. When you do that, you establish really powerful relationships because you're actually showing people that you care. And when you care about things, then people are actually more inclined to get you back on or promote you or share your information with other audiences that you probably hadn't even thought about. Remember, always end every appearance with a simple offer, okay? Again, it's really important. You might not get the opportunity, but even if you can drive them to your homepage or to LinkedIn and have an offer sitting there, because you know when you're going to be published, people let you know this episode's coming out now, you can be prepared for anyone who goes looking for you. Number 4, share micro wins to build credibility. So on your social media, make sure you're posting small practical lessons that give instant results. You're giving people these micro wins. Yes, you have tips and myth busting, but you have the opportunity to give people a chance to win. And when they take what you teach them and they apply it and they get that win, they're going to want more of you. They're going to want more of your content. And that's when they start to really follow you and they start to dig down into your past content and see what you're all about. So you've got a great opportunity there. An example might be, here's one sentence that made my students pay attention. It's pretty simple, but it catches people's attention. The hook is a powerful thing when used professionally. And remember that every tip builds trust and positions you as the expert. This is the goal here. You don't have an audience, so you're trying to attract an audience. The best way to attract an audience is to give them something useful that they can apply to improve their own life or their own business. And in that way, you position yourself as the expert. When you become known as the expert in your field, then lots of people will share your information, they'll share your videos, and you'll start to see that snowball effect. As the snowball rolls down the hill, it gets bigger and bigger. Remember, but momentum is very powerful, but if you lay off, you'll lose momentum and you're starting at the bottom and pushing that snowball back up a hill. So keep the momentum going. Once you start producing content, keep the content production up. Number 5, share a simple funnel. Number 5, build a simple funnel early. Create a lead magnet. It's really important that you have one that's an entry point where people can go from the short form content you're putting out to actually taking a bit of you home to take time with. So it might be a small course, a free planner, a checklist, or a mini guide. There's thousands of lead magnets. It really does depend on your audience and what you're teaching them about in your courses. Create that lead magnet, make sure it's really valuable information, and then share it with your audience. Give them the opportunity to take a piece of you home. When you do that, make sure you collect their email address. This is really important. We don't just give away things for free. There is a cost to the user, but it's also a bit like a gateway. Just saying, I'll give this to you, but if you could give me your email address, I'd appreciate that. And it's like showing that they are dedicated. One of the things we've discovered in online commerce is that if you charge $1 for something, it gets people to take their credit card out and make the purchase. After that, it's much easier for them to pay for an upgrade or a bonus item because they've already made the decision to buy. Adding another $20, $50, $100 is much easier. So remember, ask for their email address, and then that gives you the chance to market to them ongoing. And that's really important. It's all very well to give stuff away, but if you've got no way to reach those people, how are you going to help them? You need to be able to reach out to help them at any time with new information. So if you put out a new YouTube video like this one, you might want to tell your audience, I've got a new video out that might be helpful to you. So remember, get that funnel done early so it's in place. Once you've got that email address, you need to just set up a nurture sequence to continue to build that relationship. That might be a series of emails a couple of days apart that then leads them towards your actual course. So the real cure to their problem. One of the sequences I really like is the brand email follow-up sequence. I really like the book, Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. The sequence of emails he uses are really clever. So go and dig that up and have a look online. You'll find what I'm talking about. If you don't have any sort of pattern to follow up with, just do a search for email follow-up sequence examples, and you will find plenty of examples to do that. And in fact, if you go to ChatGPT and tell it you want to create some emails in the story brand style, it can actually do that. So you read the book or listen to the audio book, worth every minute of your time. It will make you a lot of money if you follow his system. And remember that every post after you've created your lead funnel should point to your one clear offer. Don't have hundreds of downloads, hundreds of lead magnets. Find which one works best. You might create a couple up front and then just continue to drive people to that lead magnet. Once you get a lead magnet that works well, you want to keep just driving your audience there. Remember, you're growing an audience because you don't have one and you need to keep that audience. So the best way to do that is to capture their email address. Yeah, it's all very well to get subscribers. I love my subscribers and I'm really thankful that you are watching this video because it means a lot to me that someone would actually take the time to subscribe. But having an email address is even more powerful because you can reach people directly in their phone. It's not an algorithm controlled information flow. Number 6, show proof and progress. This is a good one. Share behind the scene updates as you build your course. This is a good way to put some information out there before you even have your course built into your social media streams to get your audience growing, or to your email list even. Post screenshots, beta test results, and lessons that you've learned along the way. These are useful to other people who are also trying to learn more about the topic that you're creating the course about. You'll discover all sorts of things when you're creating courses, and you'll find some really amazing facts that don't fit in directly with your course, but are really interesting to you as a person who's an expert in that area. And believe me, other people are interested in that. One thing I learned very early on is you don't have to create all your information yourself. Sometimes it's about being a curator. Now, what is a curator? A curator is someone who curates information. In other words, they read the information, they decide what's good, what's bad, what's interesting, what's not. And then as the expert, they take that information and share it with their audience. So it's a bit like going through the newspaper and highlighting all the information that's actually interesting about a particular topic, and then saying to people, hey, you don't need to read the whole newspaper. You don't need to read the whole book. Here's the key points you need to know. That's what curating is all about. So don't think you have to create everything from scratch. It's fine to take the latest information. There's plenty of podcasts out there that are just about bringing you the latest information because there's so much information you can't keep it up. So curating is a great way to do it. Remember that authentic progress in your sending information out builds anticipation and trust. So people are looking at it, they're going, oh, wow, I can't wait for this course to come out, especially if you've started to build that audience, and they will share that with other people who they know are interested in the topic. Number 7, collaborate, comment, and convert. This is a great one. I built my first business online where I was selling books about how to use computers in the classroom to teachers by going into forums and chat groups. These days, that's Reddit and Facebook groups and all those sorts of places, and commenting on people's questions, giving them answers. And then people would follow my profile back and see what I was selling. So they'd eventually find their way to my content. And I built a solid business off that then led into more course creation. In that case, the course was actually the book. You could teach directly from it. So comment on other creators' posts in your niche because you want those creators to see you, but also you want their audience to see you. But remember, you're not there to sell, you're there to help. This is where you show your expertise, but you're not promoting yourself. You can do things like remixing or stitching their videos with your own take. Sometimes it's good to show the world that there's an alternative point of view, or maybe you can add to that because you're more about it. You can collaborate on challenges. You can do live questions and answers. There's so many things you can do working with other people and doing it live online, because it's so simple these days. You've only got to click a button. Remember, engagement creates visibility. And this is important. You need to be engaged in your community of people who are interested in the topic that you're the expert in. Your visibility builds your audience. The more visible you are, the more people are likely to find you, the more likely they are to become your audience. Thanks for watching. If you got value from this video, please hit subscribe and tap like. It really helps more creators find my channel. And before you go, grab my free guide, 10 courses you can create in a weekend. It's full of simple, proven ideas that you can build fast and start selling right away. Download it now at mrwebmarketing.com, and I'll see you in the next video.